Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited. This is the highlight of the year for me. This is the time I get to say hi to everyone at one time. So, good morning. You have the marketing and communications team here for at Colorado Gives Foundation, here to support you and help out as much as we can. We are super excited about this year and how we're going to help bring traffic and help you with your fundraising campaign for Colorado Gives Day. So first of all, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for joining. We know things are crazy, but hopefully we'll bring a little smiles to you this morning and start off your day thinking about the wonderful Colorado Gives Day.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to get started if that's okay with everybody. It looks like we have a great group, so thank you. Again, keep yourself on mute, but hop into that chat because it's been really active the last couple sessions. So today we are talking about mastering the 2025 Colorado Gives Day Toolkit. And it's not going to be me talking most of the time. It's going to be our wonderful marketing team because they're the ones that have put this all together. So today we're talking about planning and promotion. Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm the Nonprofit Success Manager for ColoradoGives.org. And we also have with us Jessica Hanner, who is the VP of Marketing and Communications, Lindsay Fontenot, Digital Marketing Manager, and Cindy Matthews, Director of Communications and Community Outreach. Can everybody give a wave? Hi. All right. Now, we've seen this before if you've been on the other webinars, but just a quick call out that we know that working for a nonprofit and in the nonprofit sector is hard. And so we just really wanted to say thank you. We see you, we see the long hours and the countless ways you show up for your community. And we're just so grateful that we get to be in these spaces with you and help lift you up. So thank you so much for being here today and for participating and being our partner. All righty. So for today's agenda, we are going to do a quick timeline and reminders. My favorite part, where I remind you of what I said in the last webinar, statewide marketing plan. So then we're going to jump right into the toolkit. We're going to talk about the nonprofit resources page and have a quick tour. And we're going to talk about the calendar, of course, the Toolkit Assets. And Lindsay's going to take us through a demo of how to customize these assets for yourself. And we'll definitely leave some time for Q&A as well. Housekeeping, the fun stuff. All right. So this webinar is being recorded. So within 2 to 3 days after this webinar, we're going to be sending it out via email to everybody that RSVP'd. And it's also available on the nonprofit resources page. So we're posting it there so everybody can access it after the fact. As I had mentioned, please stay on mute and we can use the Zoom chat and open it up at the end if you want to come off mute for questions if possible. And of course, the recording disclaimer, anything that you're seeing here related to data or personal information is fake. And so we are not using any real personal information. All righty, you get me for just a minute or two more. I'm going to talk about the timeline and reminders. So there's a lot going on just around this time in general. I've talked to so many nonprofits just in the last couple of weeks who just need to reorient themselves around all of the stuff going on and the Colorado Gives Day timeline. So we all know November 1st, early giving begins. Online donations begin counting. So you could be thinking about your kickoff email for new and returning donors, which we'll talk about. This is also a great time to target those who gave during this time in the past. You know, those type A donors that just want to get that donation in right away. This is also a great time to begin asking for monthly gifts and activate board members, volunteers to give and take action now. December 2nd, so that's Giving Tuesday, and that was a huge year for us last year. So definitely make sure you're leaning in and using that day as a milestone toward Colorado Gives Day, which is December 9th. So this is the big statewide day. There's a huge statewide media blitz that we with our media partners are putting on, all to bring attention to your nonprofits, to bring you guys more donations. So that hopefully that gives you a good timeline. And within there, you can fill in your action items that you're going to take to have a successful Colorado Gives Day. Just a quick reminder, these stats excite me, so I hope they excite you. 93% of donors covered fees on behalf of nonprofits last year for Colorado Gives Day. Returning donors, so the ones that are coming back, they gave 80% of the dollars and represented over 60% of the donors. And that means that if you're getting a new donor, they're on average donating about $263, while a returning donor is showing up and giving $724. These are real stats from the Colorado Gives platform. As I had mentioned, we are seeing great success on Giving Tuesday, so a big boost in numbers from 2024. And then the other thing that we'll remind you is one thing that the marketing team does on behalf of all nonprofits just during the Colorado Gives time period is we send out Give Again emails to encourage folks to give to you. Well, last year, those raised $6 million more for you guys. So a lot of exciting stuff happened last year, and we're hoping to just build on that momentum. Okay, so just a quick reminder, why are we participating? If you're ever asking yourself that question, or if your board is asking you that question. So this is the largest giving day in Colorado. We are offering a $1 million incentive fund, which you can consider, and the donors do consider, free money, more impact for their donation. Donor engagement and new visibility is able to be increased through the Colorado Gives Day time period. And by participating, you're getting credibility and milestones to drive that momentum and donations. And of course, this is a launch pad for your year-end fundraising. So this part is just as critical as the end of the year part, but blending them together is going to make them stronger. We won't spend too long today on Catch a Fire, but I want to make sure that you guys know that you have a free resource available to you for capacity building. Whatever you need to get done, marketing, automated email setup, finance system setup, automated emails, you can get it done through Catch a Fire, and I've provided some links here so you can get started. I talk about them a little bit more in my other webinars, and you can check out a webinar that we did specifically on Catch a Fire to answer more questions. So don't sleep on Catch a Fire. It's important and it's free, and it can help not just you, but all of your staff to get things done for free with experts. And then just a reminder here, September 24th is the next webinar. Please, please, please RSVP if you haven't. And that's Unlocking the Power of Colorado Gives Day 2025 Toolkit. So the cool thing about this webinar is we're going to be joined by CBS. And so they're going to give us some insights and best practices for engaging with the media and getting the word out there. All right, just a quick other slide on Catch a Fire. Again, won't spend too much time here, but please, after this webinar, hop in here, watch the recording, get all your questions answered, and start using it because it's a great resource for free for your entire nonprofit team. All right, we can pass through that today. And this is, hopefully your eyes aren't crossing, but I wanted to make sure that you got access to some other great webinars. So if you're trying to create compelling appeals, if you're trying to optimize your website for Colorado Gives Day, if you're defining your emails for Colorado Gives Day, or you're defining what your end of year looks like after Colorado Gives Day, these are some great webinars to check out. All right, and just a reminder, act now. This is going to multiply your Colorado Gives Day results. Early engagement, activating your donors through peer-to-peer fundraising, making sure people are coming back, so keeping retention high, and then of course, asking folks to set up those monthly gifts. All right, and hopefully the marketing team appreciates this text or slide as much as I do, but if you have not yet, Now that the toolkit is out, which we are so excited about, make sure one of the first actions you take is to update your Colorado Gives Day logos. They are different from last year. If you have any dates in your past logos or 365, that should be removed. So it should look clean and fresh, and it'll keep us from having to redo it each year and keep you from having to update it each year. So it's a win-win. All right, and that's it from me. Just a couple of quick reminders, a bunch of webinars and links, and I'll turn you over to the marketing team so you can get to the good stuff. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jordan. Good morning again, everyone. For anyone who joined a little bit later, I just want to thank you for your time. I know that on Tuesday mornings, it's Tuesday, it's not Friday, and it's not Thursday. So always hard, but I do appreciate the time that you're taking to listen to this. So I'm going to go through our statewide campaign. And we built this campaign a couple of years ago. We are leveraging the same campaign as last year, but the objectives of this campaign remain consistent year over year. Is we do want to create awareness for Colorado Gives Day in a way that it really stands out in the marketplace. There's a lot of noise out there. So how best can we make sure that it'll really pop? We also wanted to create a consistency in the look and feel. So no matter where we're at, you see the Colorado Gives Day ad, you know this is Colorado Gives Day season. Even for the people that have donated years and years, they see it and that's their cue of, okay, I'm going to go on coloradogivesday.org and donate to my favorite nonprofit. We also made sure that we wanted to make sure the materials were flexible, where you can go ahead and put your own messaging to leverage the look and feel of the campaign as well. And also included clear calls to action. We want to make sure people do not question what they need to do, and they are going to donate today at that moment so they don't forget to do it the next day. And then the one thing that we shifted a little this year within the messaging is that we are so aware that it has been such a rough year for all of you. And we do want to make sure just to add a little reminder to the donors that there is an urgency and a need this year during Colorado Gives Day. So you'll see a couple of new headlines. And then in some of our body copy too, you'll see some of that reflected as well. And here is the look and feel of the campaign. Hopefully for most of you, this may look very familiar. For people who did not leverage this last year or are new to Colorado Gives Day, this is our campaign. And so we really use the color palette from our logo, Colorado Gives Day logo, the orange and yellow, so it really pops. And as I mentioned, we did do new headlines and updated copy. We still have the old headlines as well. It's all part of the campaign. And the tagline is still easily the best day to give. So this is the tagline. We want to make sure donors know it's not that hard. It's as easy as shopping online to give. And then just a couple of other notes. So one thing I want to stress is we're giving you this toolkit so you can be part of this campaign. You can take advantage of the statewide awareness that we're already creating. And one of the things, and if I put this on your notes too, we do a nonprofit survey at the end of Colorado Gives Day because we want to hear your feedback. We want to know what's useful, what's not, so we can optimize for next year. And one of the things that we found is that nonprofits that raised the most or reported that they had a successful Colorado Gives Day, they were more likely to use the nonprofit resource page, the marketing and advertising toolkit, and the calendar and checklist. Lindsay will walk through all of this after me, but it is important. It does help to just reinforce, but have your coloradogives.org URL to donate. We really, really want to make sure we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. And as Jordan mentioned, we did update the logos. Part of it is we want to make sure that it's easier for you next year to update, because I know going in, you create your materials that you need, your social posts, and it's hard when they have the date on it, December 9th, December 10th, December 11th, whatever date that is, because year over year, it always changes. So we wanted to take that out to make it a little more flexible for you. And then also a little easier with timing, just in case if somebody anything post lingers out there, you are still okay and it doesn't feel like it's outdated. The other thing is we are sending emails that have valuable information in there. So if anyone from your team that is not on this call, but is maybe part of your marketing and development team, we do have a sign up for them. So here's a QR code and we'll drop that link in a chat as well. But please encourage them to sign up so they can get firsthand information on Colorado Gives Day. On our next webinar, we'll go through a lot of stuff. Part of it is we'll go through our media plan, and we will also go through some new initiatives. And I think being on that email will help because we will be also just keeping a very close, tight, keeping you all in the loop of everything that's going on. And now I'm going to hand it over to Lindsay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lindsay. I'm the Digital Marketing Manager. It's a pleasure to be with you all this morning. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to walk through the nonprofit resource page together. I'm going to go ahead and take over the share here. All right, so our nonprofit resource page is, the URL is right up here in the top right, coloradogives.org/p/nonprofit-resources. And so let's talk a little bit about what this is and who's it for. And it is for any nonprofit staff, volunteer, or administrator looking for campaign assets, any fundraising tools, or resources to help you build capacity. What is it? It is your one-stop shop for coloradogives.org tools, webinar trainings, and all Colorado Gives Day updates. And we try to keep it all in one centralized location for you. Where is it? It is on coloradogives.org. You can find it in the footer of the homepage. There's a screenshot there to the right. It is, this is a great page to bookmark so that you can continue to refer back to it. And then lastly, why use it? We believe it will save you time and effort, having everything all in one place. So this is where you can find the toolkit and calendar, all webinar recordings and trainings, and all planning resources for Colorado Gives Day as well as year-round. So let's walk through it together. I'm going to pull up the page here. So here is what you'll see when you land on this page. Hopefully this section, hopefully you are already enrolled in Colorado Gives Day, so this shouldn't be, if you're on this call, I'm assuming that's not relevant to you, but just in case you do need to enroll, that is there for you. Here's the Colorado Gives Day section directly under there. Again, you can find your toolkit, calendar, and checklist. And then there's this new button this year called Submit an Upcoming Event. I'll head back to my presentation. If you have a fundraising event between November 1st and December 9th, we would love to know about it because we would love to share it with our media partners to just really help you get the word out about this event. If you're not planning an event, no worries, just disregard this part, but we would love for you to build a fundraising page for your event. You can post it on social media. You can make sure to include your donation page URL in the post so that people can easily make a donation if they choose to. And then also tag us if you post it on social media. We would love to see it and help you spread the word about it. So just look for this icon. I will head back over to the page. So if you do have an event, go ahead and click this button, fill out a short form, let us know about it, and we will help you out. All right, here is a Catch a Fire. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to start working with a volunteer, this would be where you would go for that. Here's all of our nonprofit success webinars. This top section here is all of your 2025 Colorado Gives Day webinars. So we've had 2 already. This is where we're at now, September 16th. So this is where you can also refer back to the recording and slide deck after it is posted. And you can RSVP for all the future Colorado Gives Day webinars as well. If you'd prefer to go back in time a little bit, we have our webinar library for all sorts of other initiatives that you may be working through together. There's a lot of great great content on here. So I do recommend taking some time just to peruse this section to see what feels relevant to your team right now. And then here's the perks of fundraising on coloradogives.org. Here is everything that is really available to you year round as well, not just for Colorado Gives Day. And then we also have some quick links and some support at the bottom here. So that is your nonprofit resource page. This is a page that will stay updated regularly, so make sure you continue to refer back to it, and it should be able to help you be able to self-serve a little bit. So I'm going to head back over to Toolkit Assets. So we're going to talk about, we're going to walk through the toolkit together. The moment you have all been waiting for. Here it is, our 2025 Marketing and Advertising Toolkit. So just to make it easy for you, here's a link to our resource page as well, just in case. This should be familiar to you. These are just the quick links. If you want to hop down to a certain section, then you can use these links. Help you navigate a little bit easier. This is all the same. The yellow is our primary color, and then orange and purple are kind of our highlighting colors. So please just make sure to pay attention to those hex numbers if you're building your own assets, to make sure that we have a really consistent look and feel across the board. Here is our tagline and a list of headlines for you. So easily the best day to give is still our tagline. Here's a list of headlines. You're welcome to choose from any of these. This very last one is one that we ask that you just reserve for Colorado Gives Day itself on the 9th, since it does refer to just the single day. But the rest of them, feel free to mix and match and use those on all of your assets, your campaign assets. Here is your logo suite. This is a little bit simplified from years past. So again, we do not have the URL or the date there for you. So hopefully this is just to streamline it, make it a little bit easier as you're building out your assets. Key messages. The purpose of key messages is to create consistency across our messaging so that donors understand what Colorado Gives Day is, and we all have a really consistent way of communicating it to our respective networks. So here is a list of messaging that you can use in your emails, you can use in your captioning, and any messaging that you do related to this event. One really cool, exciting thing that I'd love to point out is we have raised over $500 million to date since it began in 2010, which I think is really cool that we passed that milestone last year. This is new from years past. These are our donor engagement resources. So they're designed to just help you better engage your donors on Colorado Gives Day. So we want to help you message letters of appreciation, helping you identify potential matching grant opportunities that you can set up through coloradogives.org. It also helps you identify who might be a good partner to reach out to that could provide a match. So definitely take some time, look through these PDFs. I think there's going to be some helpful stuff in there for you. Next here is our calendar and checklist. I'll go ahead and open this up. And we've got October, November, and December. So here is really the entire campaign calendar for you. So we have a list on each month. The checklist to the right here is just to help you understand where should you be focusing your efforts at this part of the campaign, just to help you stay on track and on pace for where you need to be at any particular time. And then you'll also see, like right here, anytime you see a CO, this is an email that we, the foundation, will be sending out to donors. So we're really trying to space out our communication so that we're not all hitting our donors at the same time, but that you have your certain touch points and then we have our touch points as well. So that's all very intentional and very planned out. This press release icon, you'll see a few of those around here as well. That's just so you know that's the day that we're engaging with the media and trying to get some more traction and attention to Colorado Gives Day. And these teal envelopes right here are your cue that it's time to send an email out to your donors and leverage those templates that we'll get to in the toolkit together. So these are just kind of the major milestones of the campaign. And yeah, should be pretty straightforward for you. So I'll hop over to the toolkit again. So I just want to call attention to these email templates, because I know this is one of the most used assets on the toolkit. So we have two different templates this year. So one for new Colorado Gives Day donors and one for returning Colorado Gives Day donors. These are two separate, what we call segments of donors. And the reason that they're so important. Oh, sorry, guys. There we go. The reason it's important to segment these two things out is because it will change slightly how we message each audience. So if you think about your host, let's say you're hosting an event every year, you're hosting a party every year, and you may have some of the same people that come back to the party, so they're familiar with it, they understand what to expect and how to show up. And then there's this other group of people that may have never shown up to the party, but you want to bring them along and you want to show them what they're missing out on, but they need a little bit more information about what it is and how they can get involved. So that's why we have these two segments of donors that you can reach out to. And in the PowerPoint presentation, you can refer back to, we do walk you through how to segment this out in coloradogives.org so that you can identify which donors are new to Colorado Gives Day and which may have just engaged throughout the year, and then which ones are returning Colorado Gives Day donors. So those are two separate templates for you. So you can expand this section, you can copy and paste this, you can also click this download template button and it will open up a Word document for you to customize. All right, so we have our December 2nd Giving Tuesday ask. This is going to be specific Giving Tuesday messaging. December 8th is the day before Colorado Gives Day. We will reach out to your donors on the 9th, so they will get a touch point on Colorado Gives Day itself, but we'd love for you to reach out that day before. On the 10th, there is a post-event, just pretty generic thank you message to all of your donors. And then we have an additional post-event thank you for your new recurring donors. So the $250,000 recurring match that's available through Colorado Gives Foundation. As long as that is still available, please leverage this template to engage your new recurring donors. So these are people that have set up a new monthly donation and have had that match from their first donation up to $100. So that's going to be a specific type of messaging that you want to leverage for this segment. All right, social media templates. Here are the different types of templates that you have. So we have 8 different options for you for the promotional posts. We'll get into customizing these in a moment. If you want, if you would like to promote the $250,000 recurring match, there's a couple of post options for you as well. Every section has a caption as well that you're welcome to just copy and paste and use. Nonprofit prize posts. So we have Trivia Week is back this year. So First Bank will be hosting that on their blog. We'd love for you to promote that and just draw more attention to this initiative. And it also helps you win an additional $1,000 if your donor wins and represents you. And then we have our Power Hour posts as well if you're participating in that. And there's one for each Power Hour within this template. Giving Tuesday is, as Jordan said, it was a huge success last year. So make sure that you really drive that home again, because it is a great additional way just to leverage and draw more donations. And then lastly, we have our animated thank you post. There's like a little confetti animation on this as well. So we'd love for you to kind of close out your campaign by just thanking your donors on social media. It's a great way to just kind of put a bow on it. And then down here, we have our proclamation and news release templates. If you download these templates, we have some additional information on what these are and how you can use them to spread the word within your own communities. This is the general copy template is here, but when you download it, there is some more additional resources for you on both of these. And then lastly, this is the advertising assets section. We have our promotional videos, which are coming soon in October, so make sure to check back for that. We have our poster and print ad that you're welcome to use and customize. Some radio scripts as well, a couple of 30 seconds and a 15-second announcer read if you want to engage your radio stations locally. And then we brought yard signs back. We know that you guys missed these. So Jordan's celebrating over there. We're so excited to be able to share these templates with you. So if you would like to leverage this art, you're welcome to and place your own order on whatever print service you use. So these are within Canva. We have a 24 by 18 and an 18 by 24. And each one of these has multiple different layouts within them that you're welcome to customize. You can use the more generic Colorado Gives Day logo, or you can actually pull in your own branding as well, whatever you prefer. And then under this separator here, we have all of our Good for Business Challenge assets. So we would love for you to engage your business partners by inviting them to be a part of the Good for Business Challenge. We've simplified it a little bit this year, so it is a little bit more streamlined than it has been in years past. If you're thinking to yourself, we don't have any business partners, so I don't think we'll be reaching out to any. Really think through who you're engaging on a regular basis. Who are the people that are who you're leveraging to place orders to, people that are on your board that represent other organizations that you can pull in. There's lots of different avenues and ways that you're not even probably considering right now that you don't even realize that there are tons of business partners that are actually looking for ways to give back to the community and want to engage their community. And so this is an easy way to bring them into that. So we have our newsletter blurb. If you want to drop this into your existing newsletter cadence, feel free to leverage this one. And then there's also a dedicated email outreach if you'd like to hit those individual businesses. You can do that as well. There's a couple how-to videos on building a group giving page and then setting up a matching gift. And then if you would like to do a pitch presentation to your business partners, we have the PowerPoint or the Canva options for you to download as well. So that is our nonprofit toolkit for 2025. We can go through some questions if you have them later. We can refer back to this, but
Lindsay?
this is, yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I do want to just address one question. We're going to save most of the questions for the Q&A at the end, but
Yeah.
because there were several questions about how do I know if they're a new donor, a recurring donor, I'm going to ask Jordan to come on and talk a little bit for people who don't know how to find that information on the back end. So Jordan, can you kind of walk through our guests on how they might find that information?
Yes, let me go ahead and share my screen if that's okay, Lindsay.
Sure.
Okie dokie. Move some things around here. Sorry about that. Okay. So everybody should be seeing me on the organization page on Colorado Gives. I'm logged as an admin, and so I'm able to access the navigation on the left-hand side. This should look pretty familiar to you, and you're going to the reports section. So as you can see here, and maybe you can't see because our faces are in the way, but we have an all donations report. That's everything. That's where you're downloading, getting all the information. You have a special built-in recurring donations report. So if you can't remember or can't really siphon out who was a monthly donor from your all donations, you can take a look at who is currently a monthly donor, maybe those who lapsed, try and get them on board again. You have offline donation reports, so you can upload offline donations. And then that big one that we're hoping you focus on is retention. So this is going to bubble up the people who have not yet given for Colorado Gives Day 2025. And then it will also bubble up the people who have, so you can give them that extra special attention. But let me peek into the all donations report, because I think that's what we're looking to see here. So when you're looking at this report, first thing is it's going to default to the past 30 days. Don't panic. That's just the last 30 days. You can change that at any time. And so your time period could be a custom date range. You could just look for a certain type of donation amount. And then, of course, maybe you got a really big or a really specific donation amount, or looking for donations up to $500. So those all might be ways that you're segmenting your different donors. Maybe you want to talk to everybody that gave less than $500 in a certain way versus everybody that gave over. Now, the specific filter that we are talking about is you're going to campaigns, you're going to giving event, and then from there, you can see any of your giving event data. And so you'll be able to find this directly in your reports. You'll be able to go and see last year's Colorado Gives Day information right off the bat by clicking this campaign type filter. So that's a great way to get really right into the Colorado Gives Day time period. I also want to encourage you guys, don't just keep it narrowed at the donors who gave during Colorado Gives Day. This should be an online event, and is an online event that anybody can participate in. And so those are some different ways that you might filter your donors to segment by using these filters. The last thing that I'll remind you about these reports, because it comes up, sometimes people want to download the past 4 years of data, which is great. Unfortunately, right now, the way that you download data is year by year. So if you are looking to download a specific time period, 2024, or all of 2023, you have to do it by year. And so you would choose a custom date range. All right, so I went pretty fast through that. Cindy, does that match some of the questions that were coming through the chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wonderful. And I know that keep posting the questions in chat. I am capturing them, and we'll have time at the end. We are going to go into a little bit more content, but before we do, one more quick question that we have been receiving. Jess, we're getting some questions about the recent news about First Bank and its acquisition. Do you want to touch on that? And then we'll go right back to you, Lindsay, and we'll finish the content.
Absolutely. And I think, Jordan, you're still there. Absolutely. So nothing is going to change with Colorado Gives Day and First Bank being our presenting sponsor for this year and next year. So we do have a contract for next year as well, while we work through with PNC of what that new agreement might be. PNC is a very charitable organization. Part of what attracted them to First Bank is their philanthropic opportunities and what they do in their community. And so that's something that we're actually really excited about, partnering with PNC and what else we can do with Colorado Gives Day with them. So no changes, no worries. Nothing will change with Colorado Gives Day. And right now we're very, very excited about the future partnership with PNC. So thank you.
Awesome. All right, Lindsay, back to you.
Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to share again. So we're back here at the toolkit. I'm going to walk you through how to customize some social media assets. So first of all, we build our templates in a program called Canva. This is a free online graphic editing and creation software. It's very, very user-friendly. If you're like me and you get a little overwhelmed by Adobe Photoshop, this will be your best friend because it is extremely easy to use, I promise, no matter really what your comfort level is with graphic design. So we try to make it super, super easy for you. If you don't have a Canva account, I recommend making one. It just takes a few minutes that you can set that up. And then as a 501c3, you have the opportunity to apply for a Canva Pro account for free. And that just opens up a little bit more, some more abilities that you can kind of unlock with the Pro version, but lots of opportunities with the free version as well. But just wanted to throw that out there. So here is the 8 different promotional posts that you can choose from. I'm going to go in and do this one, and we can just kind of customize this one together. And then we'll go in and do one more together as well. So I'm going to hit this Canva button, and it should open up a new tab, and it should look like this if you have an account. And go ahead and click View Template, and then open in Editor. You can see what it did is it created a copy of the template so that you can edit your own. You're not going to edit the template for everyone. This is your personal template. I got some questions about that last year, so I wanted to be clear. But here are the different options you have. Here's an English. We call this the diagonal frame template. So here is just an example of what that would look like with the English caption. And then here is the Spanish headline as well. And then right under it, we have this is the one that I recommend customizing for your personal use. And then we have the Spanish version right under that. And then page 5 is all of the different headlines that you can choose from. So you can just copy and paste directly from this list. And then right under that is all the Spanish translations as well. So for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to do page 3 right here. We're going to customize this one together. So if you need, as you build out your assets later on, if you need to refer back to this particular tutorial, we're going to have this this segment of the webinar available for you as well to refer back to, just in case. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go over here to our toolbar on the left, and where it says uploads, you can upload whatever photos you would like to use. So the hope is that you have a handful of photos that really represent the heart and soul of your organization and your cause. So whatever kinds of people you're serving, we hope that you have some photos that really visually represent the work that you're doing for our community. So if not, there's tons of stock photos available on Canva as well. If you go into Elements and then into Photos here, you can search food bank, and there's a ton of different options for you to choose there as well. These ones with the crown are pro only, but if it doesn't have the crown, you can just go ahead and grab whatever photo you'd like. But hopefully you have some of your people that you're serving, but that is an option for you as well. So in your upload section, you can just literally drag and drop photos into this section. It's very easy, and it will upload for you. So we're going to use this template, like I said. This little background here is what we're going to replace with a photo. I'm going to show you what happens if I just drag and drop a photo in here. It takes over the whole screen. The frame is suddenly gone. That is not the best way to do it. So I'm going to undo this. So in order to, I'm going to pull up the layers, which is If you're using a PC, it's Alt-1 is the shortcut. I'm not sure off the top of my head what it is for a Mac, but we can Google that easily. Here are the different layers that are on this page right here. So we have our logo, and that is our top layer. We have our headline. We have our frame, our text box, and our background. We can move these around depending on how we'd like to layer them. Obviously, we want our logo to be on top, but those are available for you just in case something takes over the screen and you're like, what's going on? You can come in here and identify the layers one by one if needed. So we're going to replace this background together. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shrink this frame down just temporarily. Let's see, let's try, I like this picture. Let's use this one. I'm going to drag and drop and see how that just took over the background. And now I can put that frame right back where it was. Just like that. Let's say I wanted to make this logo a bit smaller. Let's say it was covering her face a little bit. Literally, you can just resize it directly onto the graphic. Now, if you move it around, that's totally fine as well. So whatever you prefer to do, if you want to put your own logo on this, you're welcome to as well. You can just upload that into this section and then drop it in as though it was just like you did with the photo. Let's say we wanted to update this headline down here. So we're going to scroll down to our headline options. And we can pick one that really fits the photo. Let's try give today to change someone's tomorrow. So I just copied that and then I'm going to paste it directly into this text box. I'm going to resize it a little bit just so that it is a little more balanced on the top and bottom. And that is really it. It's very, very easy to edit text. You can, and just like you do in PowerPoint, really, it's very, very similar. So that is how you edit a template. I'm going to try one that might be a little bit more, not quite as pretty when we put it in there. So let's, see, sometimes it just takes over the screen. If that happens, actually, that was a good example. You can hit this position button on this toolbar here. You can go to arrange. So we have layers over here. Oh, that's another way to get to the layers. So go to position, you can go to layers. There's this other tab called arrange. You can go, you can choose kind of the positioning of that element. So I have it selected, as you can see. So it knows, okay, I need to edit this element here. I can move it to the bottom. That's probably not where we want it because it's over the words, but you can move it to the right if you'd like, so that when you move it this way, it doesn't take over the screen. Does that make sense? And if I want it in a little bit of a different position, I recommend using the arrows on your keyboard to reposition the logo, just so it doesn't blow up like it just did a second ago. All right, so let's use a different photo here, maybe one that's a little bit not quite as framed nicely. So let's drag this one in here. So we have our frame here. We're minimizing her for a second. This one, I don't love the way it's positioned off to the right. There's a lot of like empty space over here. So let's fix that. So we're going to double click on the photo itself. And it's going to pull up like this. And this gives us the opportunity to kind of reposition where this photo is. So I'm going to move it over a little bit. I'm going to hit done, or you can just click off of it. I think that looks a little bit better. Let's see what it looks like with the frame. Nice. Let's put this Colorado Gives Day logo right here though, so it's not kind of overlapping with this guy's head. So I'm going to go over to position. I'm going to hit left. I'm going to hit bottom. And then I'm going to use the arrows on my keyboard to reposition it into this little corner. Great. And I am happy with the way that looks. I think that's framed nicely. Maybe we could move it a little over just to make sure her head isn't cut off. Great. Okay, so I am ready to download this and I am ready to post it on Instagram or Facebook. So I'm going to go to share up here in the right. I'm going to go down to download in the bottom left. And it opens up this suite of options for me here. So I can choose which format I would like it to be. I typically recommend PNG for an image like this with multiple layers. And so I'm going to use that just for posting on social media. If you want to save it as a PDF, if you're sharing it on a different kind of medium, you're welcome to. A JPEG is also a fine option. I recommend PNG. This you can change the size. Oh, just kidding. That is just for the pro option. But if you do have the pro option, you can change the size of the element itself. The default is 1080 by 1080 pixels, but you can make that bigger or smaller if you need. And as you can see, it does give me the option to download all 6 templates on this page. However, I don't need all of that. I just want page 3 because that's the one I'm trying to download. So I'm just going to check current page 3, and see how it unselected all the rest of them. And now it's just going to download the one photo for me. So I'm going to hit done. Make sure that all my settings look correct. You can even save the download settings if you'd like so that it defaults to that next time. And then I'm going to hit download. And then it will open up a box for me to save it. Oh, never mind, it just went directly into saved. So it's down here in my downloads ready to go. So it is named the diagonal frame template so that you can identify it that way. That is how you customize a Canva template with a photo. I'm going to customize one other type of template for you that is new this year, and I think it's going to really help you with your campaigns. I'm excited about it. So it's this one right here that's labeled, it only takes a little to make a big impact. And it has this progress bar on it that you can customize for your own organization and your own fundraising goals. So same thing, I'm just going to hit view template. I'm going to open it in the editor. And same thing. So I've got my template here. I've got the Spanish version directly underneath it. So you can feel free to customize this text to whatever you'd like. So let's say your goal for Colorado Gives Day is, actually let's do 10s just to make it easier, easy math. So we're trying to raise $10,000 and we are, let's say you've raised 7,500 so far. So we are 75% of the way there. This bar shows some progress that you've made, so that up here would be obviously to 100. And we can change this number to whatever your percentage is. So if it's 75%. However, we need to update this bar as well. So what I'm going to do is select the bar and I'm going to go to edit. And then this right here where it says percentage, I'm going to change that to 75 and I'm going to hit enter. And you can see it just jumped to 75%. I'm going to move this one over. Let's say you're only 30% of the way there. So it's totally customizable to whatever milestone you're in with your goal and on that particular day. You can also toggle this percentage label here, and it will pull up that for you. I don't recommend that. I just didn't love the way that looked. So I'm going to untoggle that. And I think I'd prefer just visually. I think it looks a little better to have the smaller percentage there. No, it was 30. So yeah, and then same thing to download. Just go over to share and select PNG. I just want the English version this time, so I'm going to hit current page. Done. Make sure all of that looks right, and then I'm going to hit download. And then it's going to drop directly into my downloads folder up here. And then from there, you can post directly to social media. So those are two. Sorry, this toolbar just got in the way up here. Those are two different options for you to use. They're totally customizable for you. Those headlines are available if you'd like to use them, and you're also welcome to update it just with whatever text you prefer. This is your post for your organization, and we really want it to represent the heart and soul of the work that you're doing in the community, not necessarily us. So really customize this to be for your organization. The reason we provide these templates is just to create consistent look and feel so that when donors see this kind of branding, they know, oh, it's Colorado Gives Day. I better make a donation. So we really want you to be able to capitalize on the awareness that we're already creating statewide. We are going to move into some Q&A together, and I believe I'm going to turn it over to Cindy to lead this section. So thanks for your attention.
Awesome. So here we go, Q&A. Now is the chance for you all to come off mute or raise your hand and ask a question. You can also continue to ask a question in chat. I'm going to kick things off with a couple that were posted in chat during the presentation. And the first one, Jess, is for you. Why should people use these templates? Do they have the freedom to customize with their own photography and logo?
Yes. So the answer is yes. So the reason why you should use this is we are putting funds into a statewide media campaign, which means we're establishing that baseline look and feel and that messaging across Colorado. If you were to use these toolkit assets, it helps to reinforce that you are part of Colorado Gives Day. You are part of this statewide movement that Coloradans love to support. And it also just reinforces as they see it as that reminder, oh yeah, I need to donate. So we give you these tools and resources. And as Lindsay said, just to stress, this is for you. Please customize. You don't have to use the exact language we use. Add your logo, add your own pictures. Actually, the pictures that you have are probably way better than some of the stock photography that's in Canva. So take advantage of uploading your images and using that. But really use that to get your logo, your message, your mission. Why are you participating in Colorado Gives Day? What's your goals? What do you want to do? Is it something similar to helping to feed people, or just simplify down to a couple of words of what is your goal of Colorado Gives Day to help donors understand and relate and appeal to their inner strings of, I want to donate, I want to support this mission. So please use this. And of course, we are always available if there's any questions. There are some, as we said, we'll record this. This is being recorded. We'll send this out to you along with the PowerPoint. So if you need to rewatch Lindsay go through the Canva when you're actually updating it yourself, feel free, just put her on replay and you can watch her do that. I know for me, sometimes it's tricky and I may see it now. And then when I actually get into the system, I kind of forget and then have to rewatch what to do first. So
Thank you, Jess. Jordan, I'm going to have this next question go to you. There was a pro tip offered in the chat about reminding nonprofits on their organization's webpage to swap out the link or use the embeddable form or the mini widget on their website November 1st through December 9th during the Colorado Gives Day period, so that all the donations count towards prizes and the incentive fund. Can you just speak a little bit about how they can do that easily and why it's important to honor that sort of donor intent during the campaign?
Yes, thank you. So from a nonprofit perspective, it's important for you to streamline your external website because that's what donors think of when they think of you. They think of going to your website, that's what they're going to Google. And so, yeah, you can send that Colorado Gives Day link as much as you want. But if they're out at the grocery store and suddenly remember to give, they're going to Google and go to your website. And so the big emphasis this year, in addition to all the other great stuff you're going to do for your campaign, is to make sure that your website is streamlined for Colorado Gives Day donations. And so that can happen with just a donate button that links back to your campaign page. That's kind of the lowest rung. You can also embed for free a widget on your website that collects credit card donations, both one time and monthly. And then the best option is for you to fully embed a customizable Colorado Gives embeddable donation form. And so that can be easily copy pasted, put on your website. And so for the time period of Colorado Gives, you don't have to have any worries about a donor saying, oh man, I paid through your link on your website, but it's not Colorado Gives Day. Can you refund me? What should I do? You can avoid all that with either cleaning up your website so everything points back to your donation page on Colorado Gives, or ideally, you're keeping them on your website and you're using the embeddable widget or the embeddable form. And the way that you can navigate and learn more about that, let me go ahead and share my screen here for a sec, is in your settings area. Oops. Sorry, folks. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm back on this example page here. Let me move our little faces around. And you can see that we're here with logged in as an admin. And on the left-hand side, we can navigate all the way down to settings. So this is where in the plan management area, you can opt in to using the embeddable donation form. It's $19 a month, and it is more than worth it because you wouldn't believe how often I hear, we raised a lot on our website because people forgot and they didn't go to our page. You can eliminate that and get the biggest bang for your buck, the biggest amount of incentive funds by streamlining your website. And so if you want the embeddable donation form, you can head to plan management. That is where you subscribe. So you can do it yourself. You don't have to call customer support. And then if you want to learn more about the widget, hop into the fundraising tools area, embeds. All right, this is what it's going to look like for everyone. You can expand. And here you go. You could embed a button that goes back to a Colorado Gives URL. You can embed a mini form. This is only collecting credit card donation, but works really great. It's a cute little widget. Best option is the full form. So it is the subscription, $19 a month. You can opt in and then cancel the subscription at any time. And this allows you to create a fully customizable form to keep people on your website and still get all that's counted for Colorado Gives Day. All right. Did that answer your question, Cindy?
That's perfect. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple other quick questions. Do we have to register every year for Colorado Gives Day? No. If you are on the platform, you're part of Colorado Gives Day. So that's the exciting part. And then, Lindsay, there's a quick question. Is there a way to automate the progress bar and make that happen automatically, or do they need to manually do that?
That's something that you will manually have to do. So it is a template, just like all of the other assets that we provided. So we don't know where you're at with your fundraising goals, and that's going to look different for every organization across the board. So that is something that you manually will have to update, but it really just takes a few seconds, and it really is pretty easy to do. So
It's
And
perfect.
guys,
And then
remember
Jordan?
yeah, remember metrics wise, in addition to that wonderful social media image that you're going to be posting, you can also display on your organization or fundraiser pages your metrics. So setting your goal, maybe you're raising 50,000, and it'll also react as funds go and are donated through your page. So that's on any page. You can set up metrics to display a goal and then how much you're actually raising funds. So remember that's available too.
Oh, so we are going to talk about the Good for Business Challenge really briefly in just a minute. We'll show you those assets in 1 second. But before that, Jordan or anyone else from the Colorado Gives team, do you have advice? Nan was saying that October is Spina Bifida month, and that's when they do a lot of their fundraising, and it falls outside of Colorado Gives Day period. So any thoughts or suggestions there?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I would say just from talking to a lot of nonprofits is that they have made Colorado Gives Day their prime, the big time of year for them to raise as much as they can. And so probably there's going to be a little shift in your strategy if you're really leaning into Colorado Gives Day versus the October donations. Now, what I would say is still get everybody together, still talk to everybody in October, still get them pumped, whatever that event or thing is that you're doing. But the actions, you can warm them up and still have them act on November 1st or after. So that's kind of how I might still reap the benefits of the event, get all the contacts and get everybody excited and interested in Colorado Gives, and then be asking them to give in just a couple short weeks.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so we had a question about the Good for Business Challenge. A little bit more about how you might engage your board members in that Good for Business Challenge. And then Lindsay, I'm going to see if you can show some of the assets in there. We have assets for both you to use as a nonprofit to pitch your business partners. And then there are tools and resources for businesses once they choose to participate. So the Good for Business Challenge is sponsored by Delta Dental of Colorado. This year, we are going to be awarding 25 randomly selected nonprofits who raise at least $1,000, an extra $1,000 match. So this program is a great way for you to ask your board members if the company they work for will set up a fundraising page and participate in the challenge for your organization. Ask your family and friends if they'll have their companies choose you and set up a fundraising page for your organizations. So it's a really, really great way to quickly amplify and engage. It's free for businesses, so they don't have to put any cash in the game. But we find that once they set up a page, they tend to be pretty inspired and they end up giving as well. So it's a really cool, easy way to do that. Lindsay, do you want to share your screen and show folks where those resources are?
yes. Okay, so in the toolkit here at the very, very bottom, there's even a quick link at the top that says Good for Business Challenge, and it'll jump you right down to this section. I do want to identify before we hop into the assets that any business partners that you invited to participate last year, and if they did create a fundraising page and participate, they will automatically receive a new invitation to join again this year. So this is really for you to invite any new business partners that have not participated in the past. So let's say you have a board member who works for Big O Tires, and they are looking for ways to engage their community and give back and really engage with some philanthropy in their corporate business. So let's say Big O Tires decides we want to join the Good for Business Challenge. And how do we do that? What's involved? You can leverage these videos right here to help them create their own group giving page. So this is how, in the same way that you build a profile for your organization, it's kind of a streamlined version of that. So they would build a page. It just takes a few clicks, and they would fill out, this is for Big O Tires. We're representing this this organization that we want to promote during Colorado Gives Day. And then they would share it with their own networks and try to fundraise within that page that they build. So this YouTube video is a really great resource just to walk them through how to do that. And then this one is how to set up a matching grant, which is also would be a good resource for you as you identify what those could be. If that business decides they want to provide a match, it walks you through how to set that up. And then if you actually want to sit down and pitch them, maybe they have no idea what this is. They don't know what Colorado Gives Day is. They don't know what the Good for Business Challenge is. We're going in completely blind. This is a great presentation template for you to use and customize to your own organization. And there's really not a whole lot of customization that even needs to happen. It's the content really just is what the content is. And you can just really walk them through how easy it is for them to build a donation page and get started. But that is really everything that you need as the nonprofit to engage the business. Once they are on board, they will have access to their own toolkit. Not quite as robust as the one we provide you guys to run your Colorado Gives Day campaign, but they will have assets that they can leverage to engage their own networks and fundraise for your organization. Does that help answer your questions?
That's great. And it's fun to kind of keep watch the leaderboards and watch the businesses participate.
Yes.
It's a really fun way to engage the business community in supporting you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure we have followed up on all of the other questions. Jordan, there's a question. Is there a peer-to-peer platform that people can use for the business challenge? Like the business challenge, sorry, but
Yeah.
you want to talk just briefly about the leaderboards for folks who may not have seen that information in previous webinars?
Definitely, and thank you for the question, Marty. So yes, coloradogives.org in general is a peer-to-peer fundraising platform. Woohoo! So that means that you can enable board members, volunteers, and businesses to raise funds on your behalf. We have special fundraiser pages called group giving pages that are special for businesses. They are able to set them up, raise funds for multiple nonprofits, and they are sharing that with their employees and their network. So that is the peer-to-peer fundraising. That is the core thing that you want out of a business, to be exposed to their audience, to make it easy for them to say yes, so they don't have to write you a $10,000 check. They can just send out some emails. And so this is a really great way to get them involved. And so if you're asking about peer-to-peer fundraising, we have multiple different peer-to-peer fundraising pages on Colorado Gives, one of which is the group giving page, which is associated directly with the business challenge. And as Cindy mentioned, both for Colorado Gives Day in total, we have 3 leaderboards, small, medium, and large. And then for the business challenge, we are going to have a leaderboard this year that shows how great everybody's doing.
Okay. Jessica Hanner, we had a question about need and urgency, and we know the need has never been greater this year. Do you want to talk just a little bit about that and offer any advice or suggestions there for folks?
Yeah, so we are not going into the reasons of the need. People are aware. We just need to give them a little reminder. So the way we're doing it with this campaign is we added 2 new headlines. One that is give today to change someone's tomorrow. That kind of is very casual, but addressing it. And then from there, when we use that headline, we have supporting body copy where it makes sense. So on a print ad that talks about the need is great and the moment is urgent. So it really pulls up that urgency within the body copy. And then we also have a headline too, which is the need is great, the moment is urgent. And so don't spend your time going into the list of challenges that you have. Focus instead on that overview and here's what we want to do with your donations. Here's what we're going to work on and really focus on that end product of it.
So
Is that
thank you.
helpful, Cindy?
Yep, that's great. Jordan, do you want to add anything to the question in chat about if business funds or funds donated through the business pages count towards their total?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yes. So these peer-to-peer fundraising pages called group giving pages or business pages, they work the same as any of your other fundraising pages and your organization page. They have a big, beautiful donate button. Folks can donate one time or multiple. And donors are choosing on that business page either to donate to one of the featured organizations. And if they choose you, it's going to show up on your organization page totals. Or they can also peruse the rest of the Colorado Gives nonprofits. And so that page will also track that. So yes to that question.
Awesome. I think we've covered all the questions, unless there's a dying question. I think I want to go back now, just ask the Marcom team if there's any sort of closing comments. I am dropping a link in chat for you to sign up for part 2 of the Toolkit webinar. This one is happening next week. We will have a representative from KCNC Channel 4, a news editor, who will be presenting tips and strategies for successfully pitching stories to local media. We're going to talk a little bit more about the toolkit. We'll show it in market with good examples, bad examples, things to avoid, things to really do. We have some exciting news. We'll be sharing a little more on some activations coming up, a new merch store that you can purchase some merchandise if you want for raising awareness. So a lot of fun stuff happening in part 2. We encourage and invite you all to join us there. Jordan, Lindsay, Jessica, anything else y'all would like to comment on and as we wrap up today?
I just want to reinforce to make sure to use these assets. We did see, as it was mentioned in earlier in the webinar, the ones who use the assets, we do see raise more funds. So definitely leverage these and refer back to this video if you need the additional help. But we put these out here for a reason, and they're for you because we really do believe that they help. So definitely take advantage of these assets. Just want to reinforce that point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I would say we have from November 1st to December 9th, with which all of you may be thinking, oh my gosh, that's a long campaign, but that's intentional. That gives you plenty of time to use these assets, fill in the middle spaces with good engagement to get people to feel that love that we all feel during Colorado Gives Day. So I'm just really excited and happy everybody could be here today. And thanks to the marketing team.
All
Thank
right.
you, Jordan. And I do want to just share one more quick reminder for all of you is because you can do anything with the nonprofit resource page. So Lindsay walked through the marketing and advertising toolkit. This is how you get there. This is the nonprofit resource page. You just click this and you go to that full page that has a list of all the assets and resources. If you want to go right into the calendar and checklist without going to the toolkit, you can come here and click on this link. And same thing with submitting an event. So if you're ever wondering, what was that link that they went through? Go to your nonprofit resource page. We're keeping everything on there so you have one place to go to at all times, and it's all here. So thank you all so very much for your time. We truly appreciate it, and I highly encourage in January, when you see an email asking to participate in the Colorado Gives Day survey, please do, because your feedback is so invaluable and it helps us to make sure that we are providing what is useful for you to use in your tools and resources. And just overall, thank you so much for all that you do in our communities. If it wasn't for you, Colorado would be in a very, very worse place, and you uplift, you bring up our communities, pull us together. And I really appreciate it from all of the bottom of our hearts from here at Colorado Gives Foundation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your work. And I'm super excited to continue and talk and see you all next week. And then also for our kickoff, which we will announce next week as well. Have a good day, everyone.
You've got this, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.